Have you ever felt like your body is the enemy and that in spite of no matter what you are doing, whether it's clean eating, whether it's exercising, whether it's yoga, meditation, nothing seems to work the way it should? And maybe you've started wondering, what is wrong with me? What's wrong with my body? And why can't I figure this out? If you are, you're not alone. My name is Anindita. I am a functional medicine certified health coach and practitioner, and I help women with complex chronic conditions such as autoimmune disease reverse their symptoms, figure out the root cause, take a very holistic approach, and you and be guided by their own body's wisdom. This is a methodology that I have developed over years of working with women, and it's something that I believe in. It's called effortless healing, and it's based on a body-wise healing framework. And the reason that I call it effortless healing is that when you actually finally understand the importance of being guided by your own body, of being able to trust, and that's what this session is this video is about. Today I'm talking about, when we stop blaming our bodies and we start trusting them again, that's when real transformation happens. And that's actually when you start feeling that whatever you are doing is actually working and it seems effortless. That's the whole effortless healing approach, because I think we have made healing very, very complicated and seemingly out of reach. And we have to, it feels like we have to rely on multiple experts, multiple labs, multiple protocols, and push and use a lot of our willpower. And that's not really true. And that's what I'm talking about, because what I've learned, not just from functional medicine, not just from working with many women, and not just from my own experience, is that, that our bodies are not broken. That's the kind of message that we get from mainstream media, from everywhere. The bodies have somehow are broken, they need to be fixed, and that we have been taught to blame it. And that's actually at the crux of many of the reasons why people actually remain stuck. And what it actually really needs is to be heard. That's what your body needs from you. And when symptoms show up, we often go into this fix it mode. Like, we need to fix this symptom. So if we have a particular symptom, you take a medicine for it. If you don't take a medicine, even if you take a functional medicine, which is also based on a root cause healing approach, we often fix it with supplements, right? Instead of medicines, it's supplements. And that's so unfortunate, because that kind of approach doesn't really, it keeps us stuck in this blame mode, blaming our bodies for things that are going wrong. And that's never sustainable. And that actually prevents us from finding sustainable healing, because the issue with approaching our bodies like it's broken is that these quick fixes. We actually incorporate quick fixes. They are mostly band-aid solutions, like putting a band-aid on a wound rather than trying to clean it and disinfect it, and making sure that it heals properly. And that's not really sustainable, and it doesn't give us long-term sustainable health creation. Right. So we again come back and into what I call a disease merry-go-round. So we keep going around in these circles. We never seem to get off that merry-go-round. We, feel better for a while, and then again we are back to square one in another 6 months, a year, or a year and a half, of 2 years. When we stop doing some of the things, when we stop taking medicines or supplements. So so behind this approach that we take is fear that our bodies cannot be trusted. So we pile on more protocols. We go down to Google. We take more supplements. We do more lab tests. We restrict. We strive. We put in more and more effort. And often that is a recipe for overwhelm. It keeps us stuck. It keeps us from doing the things that we really need to do, because we're not even listening to ourselves. We're not even listening to what our bodies need right now. And when these things don't work, we give up hope. Like, a lot of people are actually in that situation, because when it comes to chronic conditions like autoimmune disease, it is not one thing that's going to make you feel better. It's a mix of different things. It's multifactorial. There are many different triggers. So the approach cannot be like just one path, right? You will need to do many different things, and the way that you will figure out what are those things is to actually listen, because your body is striving to be heard. And the symptoms, because this is how we sort of we are trained that symptoms are glitches, that symptoms are the problem, but it's like shooting the messenger. They're actually the messenger. Like they're telling us what's wrong and they're pointing us in the right direction, but we are too scared to listen to it because we've not really been told that they're the messenger. So what we end up doing is often shooting the messenger. And that's how the body communicates with us. But when we suppress that communication, when we ignore those messages, then the body starts screaming louder and louder. And I call it that it moves from a whisper to a scream. And it's happened with me, even in spite of knowing all this, in spite of teaching all this for so many years that I've been coaching women. I remember 2 years ago, I was dealing with, sciatica nerve pain, and that had also happened. It had become worse because I had actually ignored it for a while. I was traveling constantly with my daughter. My daughter was majorly into riding at that time, horse riding, and I used to be traveling all the time. And I kept putting it off. I kept, saying that I'll figure it out and I'll figure out what's happening, which I didn't, of course. And then by the time I went to two doctors, and then I wasn't in Bombay, so I had to be in Bombay at that time. And by the time I went and met, the two doctors, two separate people, and one was a sergeant. I think both were sergeants. What they said is that you have to get surgery done. That's the only option. And by that time, I was in so much of pain, and I refused to take painkillers. I was only on muscle relaxants and a bit of curcumin, etc. But that was not really enough. I was not able to walk like more than a few steps without. I mean, I was in pain all the time. I've never really felt what chronic pain is. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I was still looking for somebody who would actually figure out what the root cause was, and I did. I found such a person, a physiotherapist, and she's also a doctor. I mean, she's a doctor. And finally, when I met her, because I take this approach in my own practice, what is the root cause? Why is it happening? That is so important to understand the why. The minute she saw me, she said, your posture, this is the reason, your flat feet. And I knew I was in the right hands. And I started, working with her and her team. And it took 6 weeks. It took 6 weeks, but she had told me, she had given me a time frame that, it should get resolved. Your pain should start receding, but it takes time. And it was very painful to do the even the treatments, but I knew it had to be done. Most importantly, I trusted my body. I knew that if I supported it the way that it needed to be supported, because I had not really been listening to it all that while and I had kept ignoring it, and that's why it becomes so much worse. I knew that the reverse was also true. When I started supporting it, when I started actually giving what it needed, and the pain started receding in a 6 weeks time, and I knew I was in the right path. See, that's the beauty of an approach of like this. When you are being guided by your own body, when you do not blame your body for the health issues that you're facing, you realize that your body has been communicating with you rather than trying to sabotage you, and then you actually start, you figure out that your body is started to soften, right? And the real work is not about doing more willpower. You can't, I mean, I couldn't have pushed myself to get better. It was about connecting with my body. It was about doing the right things. It was about learning how to listen. And this is what happens when you start decoding your body's messages. I call it decoding your symptoms. And when you stop, and it has to start by by not blaming your body. Right? Like if you're doing it now, and many of us are taught how to do it very well, we need to stop right now. We need to stop blaming our bodies so that we can start trusting them again, right? And when we start trusting our bodies, our nervous system relaxes. We move from the sympathetic fight or flight mode to the parasympathetic uh, rest and digest mode. That is where the healing happens. So because you build trust not with just your body but with yourself, right? That's real transformation. And that's the beauty of an approach like this, because I believe that we need to go beyond symptoms, right? Beyond symptom management, beyond just focusing on symptoms and getting better. We need to be in a space where we can be mentally and emotionally at peace with ourselves and in our bodies, right? That's what you're looking for. You're actually what you have been missing, and a lot of us are chasing, externally, is something that we're missing from inside. Like we're missing the peace that comes from, and we're missing that, feeling that comes from being at peace in your body. And what happens is that when you practice this again and again and again, you become better and better at it. And that's what exactly has happened for me, for women that I work with, those who finally learn how to tune in. they become better at it. So when a week ago I started having a bit of pain again on the same side of my back, and I knew that, this, because I knew that I have not been exercising regularly. I was traveling this year as well, but I've been easing back into it. You know, anyway, so not to make any more excuses, I started doing certain stretching and I started being proactive, because now this time I listened to it. I did not wait for it to become worse because before I had to do something about it. And I can see that the pain has already started receding. Because I know what needs to be done, right? If you don't know what needs to be done, then you need to work with someone who does. So I want to leave you before I end this session today, this video today, that what's one way that you've been blaming your body that you're willing to let go of, or that you're ready to let go of. And if you're watching this on replay, you can pause this video right here, or you are listening to it on a podcast app, and I want you to take out a pen and paper and really journal. And I'll be doing these weekly sessions every week. I'll be alternating between a heart-led session like this, like today, with more health education oriented sessions where I will teach you about a particular topic in the complex, because we have really, really overcomplicated wellness, right? And I want to simplify it for you. I want to make it practical for you. I want to make it easy for you to implement some of the things that we are going to be talking about. So I'll be alternating between these two sessions. And for these heart-led sessions, I want you to bring a pen and paper so that you can jot down what your thoughts are, what your reflections are. And I will be ending the sessions with either a guided meditation or a visualization or a dance, because I find one of the most powerful ways to connect with your body, to start trusting your body again, is to move your body to music, to dance. Such a beautiful and empowering way of connecting, and reconnecting with your body and trusting your body once again. So before I end the session today, I'm going to play this beautiful piece of music by Beautiful Chorus. The group is called Beautiful Chorus. They do all these chorus based songs, if I may call them. They're more like meditations actually, and this one is called My Body, appropriately. So again, if you're listening to on a podcast app, you can just simply close your eyes if you're able to, or you're watching this on replay, you can do the same. You can put one hand on your heart if you feel like connecting. That will help you connect with your body better. And yeah, for the next few moments, just enjoy this piece of music and see how it feels in your body. Oh, my body, oh, my body is mine. My body is fine. Body is beautiful. My body is fine. My body is mine. My body is fine. My body is beautiful. My body is fine. My body is mine. My body is fine. My body is beautiful. My body is long. My body is fine. My body is fine. My body is beautiful. My body is long. My body is mine. My body is fine. My body is beautiful. My body is long. My body is fine. My body is fine. My body is beautiful. My body is bold. My body is fine. My body is fine. My body is beautiful. My body is bold. My body's mine. You close your eyes. You can take a couple of breaths and you can open your eyes. I hope it helped you to reconnect, to dip into your body and not be driven by all the external inputs that we get all day long. Just listening to your body from the inside out rather than constantly from the outside in. And yeah, your body is beautiful. Your body is yours to do with it. Make sure that you, clear space for healing. Make space for healing. Make sure that you're listening to it, that you're responding rather than reacting, that you're trusting it to guide you in the right path towards the right direction, because that's where the true healing will happen. And I will see you next time.